Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
Be a subtle thing.
And hello everyone, and welcome to Scarefest Television. The original broadcast date July 14th, 2023. My co-host tonight is the lovely and talented Katie Followell, who made me freak out by showing up 5 minutes before showtime.
Sorry.
And then Brian Bremer, my unemployed guest, showed up at showtime. So, we got everybody here. Everybody, we do have...
I made it on time, Wes. I made it on time. I made it just in the nick of time. I'm a very busy professional working actor, you know.
Not this week, you're not.
No.
Working.
Well, actually, I am. Because the strike does not impact commercials. And a lot of what I do is commercial voiceover.
I did not know that.
It also does not impact certain animated programming made for basic cable. What is happening right now, what's being struck, is the current film and television contract.
Right.
So we are actually still allowed to do commercials. The commercial contract was negotiated 2 years ago. It's still intact. So we're not striking against the commercial. So commercial voiceover, on-camera commercial, SAG actors can still do all that stuff. It's very confusing, and people have a lot of fear going on around the strikes, but people really need to dive into the Screen Actors Guild website and get the skinny on what's going on. So actually, yes, I am still working. That is because primarily...
I apologize.
You know, now I can't do any work for a film or television production that is being funded by one of the struck companies. So that's Netflix. It's all the streamers, all the studios, all the media companies. If you think about it, those are the companies that are being struck against. They're the ones who will not come to the table on a new agreement. So we can't do anything for any of those projects. It doesn't apply to commercials. That's completely different. And it doesn't apply to all television programming, interestingly enough. It certainly doesn't apply to independent horror film that's being privately funded. Those can continue on. If they want to use SAG actors, they can go call the Screen Actors Guild and get a waiver. It's very easy. And I have a lot of friends who are in production right now who have had to stop for a minute, but they're getting the waiver and they're going to go forward Monday, hopefully. So it's not black and white or cut or dry. I would say people need to not panic about it. People need to learn about it and be very informed about it and not spread a lot of rumors about it. Like there's a lot going around about like the personal appearances and how those are impacted. I've been getting texts and calls.
Well, that's because of Variety. Okay? Variety fucking screwed the pooch on this.
Variety,
the magazine. They did a tweet. And what it is, I have it right here.
Okay. What did Variety say?
Okay. Here is what the actual thing says. Promotional publicity services or work under the TV theatrical contracts. Then it gives a list of things covered under that. And that includes conventions, like we talked about. San Diego Comic-Con is pretty much ran by the studio.
Right.
At least the talent is put there. But
right.
I mean, it has social media.
Right.
You can't do social
here is
media.
How we've interpreted that at my agency, and because like I have a lot of actors who are about to have premieres for Netflix movies that they've just done, or like the Haunted Mansion premiere for Disney was about to happen in about 2 weeks. That's not going to happen now.
No.
Right. Well, the premiere's not. That doesn't mean the movie's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But it means that the actors involved in that cannot promote that film because Disney is a struck company, ABC Disney. Now, the way we've interpreted the promotions clause, and this is why it will affect San Diego Comic-Con in a big way, is that we cannot promote current or future work that has been funded by the struck companies.
Right.
And again, that doesn't include a lot of indie horror. All right. So what that means is the way, and actually, I responded to a post on the Scarefest site about this, but right after I reached out to my agent and we're getting clarification on this because it is very confusing. But in other words, I can come to Scarefest and I can sign pictures of Pumpkinhead or Silent Night 5 or Society or whatever. Those movies were 30 years ago. The studios are not making a profit on me doing that. I'm not promoting a new project that's going to make them money. However, if I was in, say, the Haunted Mansion, right, I could not sign pictures for the Haunted Mansion. I could not promote the Haunted Mansion. I could not talk about the Haunted Mansion on panels. I could not discuss it. Current and future projects, because the studios are going to make money on me promoting those, they're going to pay for me to go out and promote those. Or anything that I have been paid to go to as a press event by the studio, I cannot attend.
The good news, everybody, it boils down to he can do the convention and he can obviously do shitty podcasts.
And thank you. And David Thornton also posted something very similar. Yeah. It doesn't affect our convention appearances. It will, if we have current projects going on, again, that are funded by the struck companies, we can't talk about or promote those, and we can't be sent there by the studios to promote them. Right. That's how we are interpreting the promotions clause. So everybody, chill out. Everything should be fine. But I'm getting clarification on that. We're having to deep dive into even my own union.
But anyway, what I was saying, what caused the problem? Now I read you the clause.
I see. Yeah, they said
Variety did the list of things under the clause.
Right.
And I mean, this covers.
And it says conventions.
Yeah, and so this means he couldn't go grocery shopping, because if somebody asked him for his autograph, according to them.
It happened today, and I had to say, I'm not who you think I am. I'm sorry, I'm not. No, of course, that's ridiculous, right? Studios aren't making any money off that. Now, it is confusing, and we're all diving in to figure it out, but I'd say everybody just keep a cool head. There's no reason that like personal appearances are not restricted. Conventions where we are promoting current or future projects by the studios, that is what's prohibited, and that makes the most logical sense. Right. That's how we're interpreting it, but we are deep diving to make sure we're right about that. I actually texted my agent right before the show, and I said, so I can talk about past projects, and I can even talk about projects that are not funded by the majors, the struck companies. And he said, I believe you're right. He said, I'm going to make a call on Monday to make sure. We're going to call the ATA, which is the Association of Talent Agents. But I think we're right about that. So people shouldn't panic. And I mean, none of the actors are canceling their appearances, so they're going to be there. So you'll get to meet them and you'll get to talk with them and interact with them. All the same fun events are going to be there at Scarefest. We're all going to be doing the singing and the dancing and the partying all night long, like always.
But can you sing Disney songs?
Not Haunted Mansion songs, but you can sing Moana. You can sing The Lion King. That's my understanding, man.
Well,
look, I'm totally wrong. If I am wrong, if I find out that I'm totally wrong about this, I promise you guys I will post on the site.
Well, don't worry. I've been watching Suits on Netflix, and I think my legal expertise at this level is adequate to assure you that it'll all be okay.
Yeah, 100%. And the strike is a necessary evil. What, Katie? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Just tell me if we can't karaoke the Disney song, like by October. Just tell me. I'm ready.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Let's actually get our Disney repertoire ready.
Yeah.
And you and I are going to do some duets.
Yeah, we'll do it.
We can definitely do
We've got this. Yeah.
We've got this.
The strike.
But let me say one more thing about the strike. It is a pivotal time in our industry. It is a sea change. Fran Drescher was absolutely right. There are a lot of issues being addressed that have to be addressed because the business model has changed for how the studios.
Right. Yeah.
And this
the internet has screwed everything
years ago. It happens every time there's a technological change in the way distribution happens. It happens every time. This one is long overdue. It is a necessary evil. It will have a positive outcome. We will come to the table and come to an agreement, but this is a tool that unfortunately we have to use to make sure we're just being paid fairly. We're not talking about millions of dollars. We're talking about a living wage and a fair wage when my performance is shown again and again and again, millions of times all over the world, that I'm compensated fairly for that as time goes on, as we always, not always have been, but have been since.
Okay, now the last time that both unions, or both sections of the union, however that works, went on strike was like the early 80s, right?
Yeah, 2009 was the last writer's strike.
Right, I remember that one because that was the
But-
one that fucked up Heroes, one of my
That's right.
favorite TV shows. And
Yeah.
then when it came back, everybody lost interest. So,
Everybody lost interest.
but
yeah.
I think last time both of them you went on strike was like back in the '80s.
I think
And
that's
I'm
right.
trying. And you said about the technological change. I'm thinking we didn't do shit in the '80s.
I think it was home video.
I guess it could have been. It could have been
I think it was home
VCR.
video.
Yeah.
If
I
I
guess you're
remember,
right.
it was VCR, VHS, and residuals and home video. How do you track video sales? And like none of that stuff was in the contract because it was new technology back then. I think I'm right about that.
I bet
But I
you
think
are.
I'm right about a lot of things. But I think I am right about.
I'll bet you are.
Thank you.
We're at everybody. Okay, so there's your news flash. We've
Yeah.
settled it. We're
As far
going
as
to.
we knew.
I even have an official statement from Brandon Griffith here. This is the exact same goddamn thing, so I'm not going to read
Wow.
it. So just so you know,
You better read it, Wes. You
What?
better read it.
I
mean,
don't. Well, no, they're going to post it on Facebook.
Okay.
I mean, it says, "Hey,
Okay.
everybody, we're going to do this. It doesn't affect the goddamn thing." There, that's the synopsis. There.
I really don't think it's going to impact Scarefest much at all. I mean, if you probably can't talk on panels about certain things, but even then, like a lot of our panels are about, retro. It's like the movies that.
Well, that's
that
what we are.
people-
We're an '80s horror convention.
That's what I mean.
80s
Yeah.
and 90s. I mean, honestly, when people ask for stars of new stuff, our assholes get a little tight because
Wes,
those. Well, I mean, they're the ones that have to
there is a
cancel.
lady present. I'm not just talking about Katie. Good God.
I mean, I'm glad.
I mean, there's
I'll
a
say
warning
it.
at the
I'm
beginning of the
glad they
show.
canceled The
Okay.
Walking Dead because that's the only way we can get those people. There. Okay,
Oh,
let's
yeah,
do
well,
our.
great. Well, like the Walking Dead folks can appear. They might not be able to talk about Dead City, which is out now and in production now, and the networks are actually actively promoting it. But if my theory is right, I mean, they can talk about the work they've done for the past 5 years. But I'm getting clarification on this too. But that's my understanding so far.
All right, everyone, we're going to
Wait,
take a quick
what kind of
commercial
wine
break.
are you drinking? Oh, my bad.
Oh
Hold
yeah,
up.
so here's the thing
You
about
can-
the
you can
wine. I
get
have not had a
soused
drink
after.
all week long, and I have to issue that disclaimer. Intentionally, and so this is my first glass of wine all week. I was saving it for you, Wes and Katie and Anita. So this is just it's a Cabernet from Target that Jeffrey just brought me, and I think it's their $5.
Ooh.
It's like their $5 bottle of wine, which is
Well,
is
it's a
good.
bottle, though. It is a bottle.
This is not a bottle, but there's a
Well, I
bottle
meant
waiting
it
behind
came in a
this
bottle.
glass.
You
It's
could've-
not from a box.
It's not from a box.
It isn't, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Anyway, we didn't get a commercial in here.
Yeah, get one.
Horror. Movie. Fans. For. Life. On Facebook. Find us. For watch parties. For news. For memes. For friends. For life. Horror movie fans for life. Join us.
Yeah, I have writers texting me. And anyway,
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. Oh, by the way, since you're drinking wine, I've worked out though. I'm not really going to drink this because
I'm drinking water.
good for you. So am I, Katie.
Yeah.
so
you're
Katie,
up.
you probably have like a real question now that we've covered all that.
I hope so.
So, okay. You do a lot of voice work, and I was reading up on that because I think it's very fascinating. Like, how did you transition into voice work? Like, when did you go, oh, I want to do that?
Well, that's a good question. I was in Los Angeles working in film and TV, and I actually started with my partner Robert, business partner Robert. I started a musical group called Elijah Zoo, and we sang and played out in Calabasas and all over LA and did pretty good, and decided at one point to move back to kind of the East Coast to Atlanta because my family was all here. I'd been in LA for years. We figured, all right, if we were going to go the music track, the music route. I sang and wrote lyrics and played the piano. And we wrote some really pretty stuff. And we all collectively at once, there were 7 of us in the band, we all collectively decided, let's get out of LA. We've been in LA too long. We'll move back where the cost of living is better. You can do music anywhere. You don't have to live in LA to do music. At that point, you had to be there to be an actor, but that's not even the case now. So we came here with the goal of playing the Olympics in '96, and we did. We played the Olympics. We met our goal and then broke up the next day. Did what we came to do when we broke up. Well, I stayed here in Atlanta because there was work here. I started working in casting and producing and started doing a little on camera. There was some work here at the time too. But the biggest benefit of me being back here, Katie, was I got to be with my great aunt, who was the love of my life when she transitioned, when she passed. And I was with her in the hospital, and I was reading to her from her book, her favorite book, Billy Graham's Angels. And my old cousin Shelby was in the room, and I was reading to Edith when she lay in transition. And my old cousin Shelby goes, "Brian, you have such a nice voice. You ought to do something with that." And I thought, well, I'm an actor. I was a singer. Let me figure out voice acting. You know, they don't teach it in school. They don't teach it at Pepperdine. They don't teach it in art school. They teach you film, TV, and stage. Nobody teaches voice acting, but it's such a huge proliferating business. So I came back to Atlanta. I took a workshop. The guy who led the workshop was a working pro in voiceover. He said, "You have a marketable voice. You should definitely pursue this." I got a demo made. I fell in love with it, and I never looked back. I absolutely love voice acting. So that's how I got into it, just randomly. After being an actor for 15 years professionally, I found it, you know, because somebody suggested that I should do it. And a lot of people think voice acting is just using your voice or having a great voice. And it's really not. It's not about having a great voice. It's about doing great things with your voice. And it is acting. It is acting in a different way from on camera and a different way from on stage, because you have the microphone. That's all you have. There's no eyes, no subtlety of expression. There's a way you perform for the microphone commercially and in animation that's different from on camera. And you have to learn those techniques. But I absolutely fell in love with it. I love working on the microphone. I love working with the clients creatively in that way. I love that I can do a gig not wearing pants, like right now. I love that I can work from my home. I love the audition process because I audition here. And I send it in, and I either book the job or I don't book the job. I don't have to go out and, you know, go across town and sit in traffic and be. I love everything about voice acting. So that's how I got into it. And, yeah. And shortly after that, you have to get a demo made. So I got my demo made, and I started booking little regional jobs like heating and air conditioning company commercials, you know, here in Atlanta. And then through a series of just auditioning and networking, getting my agent, I was the national voice of Time Warner Cable for 9 years on and off. I've been the voice of Verizon Wireless. I'm in the Walking Dead video game. I do a lot of like video games.
Yeah, I want to hear the Nick voice.
He sort of talks like this. I mean, you know, he's just like, "What the hell, man? I left the kitchen door open. My mom got hit by a zombie, man. What am I going to do, Uncle Pete?" Anyway, but that's how I found it, and I love it. Now, you know, the funny thing is, I really left on camera for voice acting, and that is my jam, as the kids say.
That's your art. I mean, it's
what I do. Yeah, it is what I do. But now I'm starting to get back into on camera, but I can't talk about those projects right now. But I'm starting to get back because of the conventions, because I'm meeting the fans, and it's like, and I really, after Scarefest last year, honestly, I'm like, I want to do something else to talk with everybody about. Like, I love that everybody loves Pumpkinhead and all the movies and everything, but I want to do it. It made me want to do it again for the right reason, which is like, I got to meet my audience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The film actors don't ever get to meet their audience. Like, I got to meet the audience, and so now, like the 2 films I'm going to do this year, it's like, yeah, like I know who's watching, like, and this is for, it's like being on stage again, you know, like this is for you. So isn't that funny? But I mean, my bread and butter is voice acting, and that's what I do every day. And that has not been impacted by the strike. Like we were talking about, commercials are mainly what I do, and even commercial on-camera acting has not been impacted by the strike. And see, a lot of people don't know that, but it's the film and TV, right?
What about theme parks? Because I was reading your biography, and there's a certain theme park that I'm a fan of, and I just wanted to know what you did there.
Disney parks?
Yes.
Yeah, I did commercials for Disney for a long time, on and off. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, not in the park, but like, you know, experience the magic, like that kind of thing.
That was literally like, if you look at my list of questions for you, is number one. I was like, what'd you do for Disney? Because
I wish I was doing the in-park stuff. I mean, that would be, I auditioned for that stuff a lot. You know, here's a good story though. My husband is a voiceover agent. Long story. We've been in the business together for a long time. We started as actors. He's a big voiceover manager now. He booked the new voice of Abraham Lincoln in the Hall of Presidents. Yeah, about 2 years ago, they changed Lincoln's voice, and he booked him. It's one of his clients, and oh God, he's a famous voice. Actors don't get famous, which is really cool. I mean, we're very anonymous, but we're famous in our own circle. And he is, oh shit, J.V. Martin is his name. He does a lot of like the cable, like the narration shows, like not Ancient Aliens, but like shows like that. That's actually not what it is. But yeah, so he booked Abraham Lincoln, and now J.V. Martin is the voice of Abraham Lincoln. So every time until they change it again, that you go to the Hall of the Presidents and you see Lincoln stand up and talk, it's our friend J.V. So that I thought that was kind of cool.
You're literally, I have not been on the Hall of Presidents in years. And next time I go back, I'm only going for him.
Well, yeah, that's honestly the only reason I would go would be to hear J.V.
Yeah. Well, the air conditioning is nice.
The air conditioning is rocking. Yeah.
Yeah, a good nap spot, but I will stay away from Lincoln.
But pay attention to Lincoln, you know, because
I will pay attention to Lincoln.
Or wake up for Lincoln. I think he's the last one that stands up, and it's creepy.
I'll tell my husband to wake me up for that. He had to wake me up for Live One in Epcot. It was like American Adventure. It's like 1,000 years.
Yeah.
I fell asleep.
Yeah, but it's the air conditioning.
Absolutely.
We love Disney.
So you've also done. I know there was like Mr. Peanut was one.
Yeah.
Has there ever been like a role you've taken on that's been kind of like intimidating?
Yeah, Mr. Peanut was kind of intimidating. I was the voice. Now, a lot of times they will hire celebrities for Mr. Peanut. Like Robert Downey has done it. I can't remember who else, but a long list of celebrities. Then they'll also hire working Joes like me, because I'm definitely a working actor, to do what they call their evergreen spots. So I got to be the voice of Mr. Peanut for 2 years for all the spots you heard that were not Robert Downey Jr., right? And it was really fun. It was also really intimidating. Like I said, you know, most of the jobs that I do, you would never know it was me. Like the dad on the Bank of America commercial, or the I said Mershel. I said Mershel, Wes. That's not a good sign. I'm telling you, I haven't had a drink all. But anyway, like, you mostly wouldn't. Oh God!
We probably thought my people would have thought that's some Hollywood term you used.
Mershel. It is.
That's what you call them in
it's
Hollywood.
In the contract. Yeah, look it up in the.
Baby, I'm in the South. I just thought you said commercial. I didn't.
Thank you, hon. Well, that's the great thing about being in the South, isn't it? But,
yeah.
So most of the jobs you would never know that it was me. Most people, you just don't know. But in all the years, I've been a professional voice actor now for 22 years this year. Of all the jobs I've done, and I've done some big jobs, the first and only job my dad has ever gotten excited about was when I got to be the voice of Mr. Peanut. He went nuts. He's like, oh my God, you're Mr. Peanut. Oh my God, that's crazy, man. Oh my God. My sisters gave me a Mr. Peanut sweater for Christmas that year. And that was a job where, I was intimidated. I mean, I was nervous. I get nervous before every gig, but I've done this long enough to know that I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But Mr. Peanut was very intimidating. It's like, okay, this is an iconic character. You know, just because you book the job doesn't mean it's going to air. You have to book the job, then do a good job. Then it goes through like 10 levels of approval all the way up the chain of advertisers and the client before it finally gets to air. So I'm like, of course I'm nervous, and it paid really well. Like the paycheck was good. So I'm driving to the session. I'm like, But the way I was able to control my nerves and control my fear is I I am educated about what I do. I do know what I'm doing. I know how to do what I do. And I've had enough success over the years. And it takes that for an actor. It takes enough success over years to build your confidence and go, okay, I'm going to deliver. I'm going to deliver something good. There will be things that happen that are beyond my control. So I'm at the point now, finally, because I just had a birthday, where those nerves and that intimidation don't rule me, but they're always a
Yeah.
part of the creative process. You know what I mean? But I know what I'm doing, and I'm going to do a good job. So yeah, but that one, I was nervous. I was really nervous for that, but it went really well, and the spots aired, and they're great. And I'll always be able to say that I was one of many voices of Mr. Peanut.
I didn't know that, like if you booked a gig, like
That
it
doesn't
might
mean
not air.
it might not. Yeah, it's not so typical in animation and video games. Typically, once you've booked those jobs, you're going to play that role. You're going to play that character. It's really more in the commercial world because, you know, the advertising agency can push you to the client like Coca-Cola, and Coke can go, okay, let's hire that guy. Well, then you get into the session and the creative starts happening, and the spot gets made and the creatives are happy. Then it has to go up the chain of approval. And once in a while, and this has happened to me in my career probably twice, which is not a lot in a 22-year career, but probably twice when we've done the spot and I've gotten paid the session, but not the usage. And my agent reaches out and they go, well, we're not actually using the spots. They decided to go a different direction. So someone up the chain said, no, that's not the voice I want. And you can be, and listen, it goes through so many layers of approval. Your advertising agency creatives can love it. The head marketing director at Coca-Cola can love it. The president of marketing can love it. And then the president and CEO of the company can go, eh.
I know
You
Dustin
get that
Perry.
thick skin, you know?
Dustin Perry, in his book, he talks about he basically created a TV show after he did Ghost Hunters.
Yeah.
And he did the premiere of it. Fucking focus group.
So you're right.
Said, who's the guy in the mom jeans?
Oh, you gotta have a thick skin in this business, baby. People talk about, you should hear the shit that's been said about me over the years, man. And you just gotta have a thick skin.
That's what I just set for me. See, I just set the bar so low. I don't
drink a lot. Yeah, that's
that helps too. Yeah, but
that's why you're so good, Wes.
I just sneak right underneath everybody's expectations, and they're like,
you do. See? Set the bar low, and then jump right over it, and you'll just surprise the shit out of everybody. And that is you in a nutshell, Wes.
Okay, everybody.
By the way, I'm so glad that you're doing well. By the way,
I even got a compliment in the chat room. Some chick just said I look pretty damn good.
You look great. You look great.
You do.
Actually, it wasn't what she said, but it was. That's the way I read it. So that's good.
Well,
enough.
we don't need to know what she said, and Anita's sitting right there, by the way.
She pointed it out to me.
Oh, well, good. You look 10 years younger. You really do, and I'm not kidding.
I feel 20 years younger. But we're going to do a commercial break now, and then we're going to do our announcements. We have announcements tonight, everybody. Okay, first of all, I want to get to Hedge Witch Hall, one of our sponsoring vendors from Scarefest 2023. Hedge Witch Hall, tea with intent. Every tea blend has a purpose. Check them out online. Go to hedgewitchhall.com. They're just about always at the Mystical Market, aren't they? Every month. Central Kentucky Mystical Market that I'll be telling you about in a minute. Check them out there, and they usually bring samples. So, but anyway, Hedge Witch Hall, tea with intent.
Nice.
Now, first celebrity announcement. The Green Goblin Head is coming back to Scarefest. Yes, we have the Green Goblin Head for your photo pleasure popular attraction. And we're going to be announcing, believe it or not, we do have some celebrity announcements to go along with that. Not tonight, though. Green Goblin Head is coming to Scarefest. Tonight, we got Days of the Dead. Deborah Gordon. Deborah Gordon is coming. Deborah Gordon, who, incidentally, I love it. Dawn of the Dead, she played Red Turtleneck Sweater Zombie, grabbing at a guy's leg. That is the IMDb plug here. Couldn't say Red Turtleneck Zombie. It actually said what she did, but she was uncredited. But then she advanced up the scale till she became until she became featured zombie in Day of the Dead. A featured zombie in Day of the Dead. And actually, then she got Monsters when Mom goes. I need to see that when moms go bad. I don't even care if I see her episode. That just sounds very interesting. But anyway, Day of the Dead. Now, featured zombie. Since we're on the featured zombie thing, let's talk about Mark Tierno. Mark Tierno, also Day of the Dead. Another zombie. This one, let's see, featured zombie. Can't believe a movie action. This is a theme, featured zombie. But we got more.
It's a big thing. He was my favorite. I remember him very well. He was absolutely my favorite. He's the one that they chained to the wall. He is absolutely my favorite zombie in the movie.
So there, everybody. That's and also he's on Knight Riders. Additional crew in Creepshow. I don't know what he did on that. This is additional.
Very cool.
But actually, his IMDb is full. So everybody, that's our announcements for tonight. Although we're also going to talk about tattoo artists. And I totally cannot read the graphic because he chose to use. Anyway, I'm embarrassed. I did not proof these ahead of time.
Tattoos by Gertie.
Is it Gertie?
It is Gertie.
Tattoos by Gertie.
It's Tattoos by Gertie.
Oh, I can look at that screen. It's bigger on that screen. I'll look at it's on that screen. I can actually look at my other screen.
This is what happens.
Well, you look 10 years younger anyway, Wes.
I can't see. Yeah, I got bifocals this week. Not wearing them.
I heard.
This
Yeah.
Now,
is what
also,
happens when you get the graphics 10 minutes.
yeah, we
before you
also
go
got
on
the
there.
graphics 10 minutes before
Yeah.
showtime. They showed up right before you did, Brad. Okay. Then we have Lone Wolf Tattoo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're out of Nashville. Lone Wolf
Yeah.
Tattoo out of Nashville. They are going to be part of our Scarefest Inc. That's what we're calling our little attraction this year. But we're going to have a row of tattoo artists. And
Oh, that's very
so
cool.
it's going to be easier than ever. And, okay. I think we addressed this last week. But some people ask about getting tattoos at Scarefest. And they ask if you could just walk up and get a tattoo. It's just like the real world. If they're not busy, yes. It takes the same amount of time as it does in the real world. You might have to make an appointment and come back, but that's the way it works. There's no magic to Scarefest when it comes to tattoos. They still gotta do their stuff. So there. But they do have books you can
That's
look
cool.
through. They're full service there. Central Kentucky Mystical Market, where you can find Hedgewood Hall, will be going on this month, July 29th and 30th, at the Clarion Hotel, Lexington's premier monthly psychic and holistic event.
Oh,
Look
I gotta
them up
get out
online.
to that.
Would you
It's
really
fun.
drive all the way up here? It's fun. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I would love to come to. I
And-
see you promote that a lot. That looks like a lot of fun.
What? Because I'm on the payroll and they have it every month. I can't go this month.
I love it.
Well, I might be able
I
to
definitely
go.
want to come to
I
that
just
one.
I didn't do a booth because I really need to get some work done, and the farm and all. Scarefest Horror Film Festival. Hey, we're in the last couple months now. We're still taking submissions. We are still judging them. But if you got a independent film, no Disney films in here, people. Scarefest Horror Film Festival though is still taking submissions, and we're down to the convention center just yesterday, getting things laid out. And Brandon's going to buy me a laptop so we can get this thing done, because I just realized I need mine at my booth, and that's how we're doing it this year in the convention center. So the filmmakers will have bigger crowds. Now, my little Patreon sleepaway camp project. This is I'm 22% towards my goal.
You can do it. Come on, everybody.
if
You
I
gotta
get-
see Wes dressed like this. I want my picture.
I
taken with
will
Wes
wear.
dressed.
Now, I'm wearing the shirt tonight. I haven't cut it off yet because I'm not getting dedicated to it until I see the people dedicated to it. But I am 22%, so I got 3 months left. 3 months again. So if
You
I
can do it.
If I get 100 subscribers on Patreon, and that's as low as $1 a month, so I'm not doing this for the money. I will cosplay that dude right there. And
Spread the word, guys. We got to make this happen. Oh,
if I get 150,
oh no.
I will do that cosplay with a tramp stamp.
I'm not sure I can endorse that, but
Yeah,
come
you
on,
can.
guys. Let's
Get
do it.
behind it.
Yeah,
Get
you
Let's
behind
do it. Oh, get behind it. Okay.
Patreon.com/Scarefest Radio. And that also goes along with what we're going. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. That. transition. And Mr. Brian Bremer, after tonight's show, is going to hop over.
That's right.
And for anybody who subscribed to my Patreon page, all the way down to the $1 subscriber, he's going to do a quick Q&A with you. He's going to sit in a Zoom meeting and have a virtual meet and greet, because if GalaxyCon can do it, so can I. So you
Absolutely.
still got time.
Anything for you, Wes. And I'm going to actually put my pajamas on. So that's worth paying money to see.
There you go, everybody. You get to see Brian Bremer in his pajamas.
No, you're going to see me put them on.
Oh, it just became
I
porn.
said I'm going to put my pajamas on. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I don't know how you Hollywood types are. Finally, now this one I kind of threw in at the last minute. Here's what happened. I was thinking about doing the St. Judah Children's Hospital 50 push-ups a day challenge. I filled out the form and clicked the wrong button, and now I'm doing it. It went to my Facebook page, and before I could even delete the motherfucker, 2 people offered to sponsor me, so I'm going to do it.
You can do it, Wes.
I'm going to do 50 push-ups a day. Now, in full disclosure, there's a very good chance I will do 2 per hour, because
it doesn't matter how fast.
That's right. No, I'm going to split them up. And then by the end of the month, I should be able to do the 50 like that, and I'll be reporting my progress on Patreon for my subscribers.
But you have to do it in that outfit.
No, don't.
Yeah.
Image slideshow. Turn that off. We're not doing that tonight. That was our photo ops. Anybody who saw it, that's photo ops.
Oh, that's funny.
That was from an old episode. Okay, we're back. So yeah, that's what's going on in my life. And next year, I've already committed. A hot dog costume on Amazon costs roughly $40. And I'm going to get a hot dog costume and a Michael Myers mask. And yes, I will be Oscar Myers. I will do Oscar Myers.
You can do them at Walmart closer to Halloween, because that's where we had a hot dog costume from.
I am not counting on Walmart. I'm going to get it so I can rehearse, because I'm a professional.
True.
Can I promote one thing? Wes?
You can promote any damn thing you want.
Well, actually, I can't promote anything, but I do want to promote one thing. First of all, when you were talking about the tea company, I swore you were saying pee with intention. And I kept looking at that graphic going, pee with intention. What kind of company is this? So I'm glad it was tea. But I just want to let everybody know, if you don't know this already, this year is the 35th anniversary of Pumpkinhead. So we'll be celebrating that down at Scarefest. Come down to my table and we'll have some specific 35th anniversary celebration material. Yes, it is 35 years ago this year Pumpkinhead came out. So thank you very much. I feel very old, but I'm also very proud that the movie has found its audience, and its audience continues to grow. It just amazes me, and I'm humbled. And I want to thank all the fans who love the movie, because that has really changed my life. And I appreciate you guys.
Has anybody ever figured out why we only celebrate anniversaries that end in 5? Multiples of 5?
I think you got to limit it somehow. I mean, because otherwise it's the 42nd anniversary. Like, who cares, you know? It's the 27th anniversary. It's the 7th anniversary.
Somebody pull it up on Google. What is the 35th anniversary? Is that like wood, paper?
Oh, I'm sure it's wood. Are you going to get me wood for Scarefest, Wes? Somebody get me, whatever it is, somebody get me something made out of that thing.
They're still in the chat room asking who we announced. Yeah, you should have tuned in quick.
No, it's coral and jade.
Oh, cool.
Oh, you're shitting me. There's actually an answer for my question.
Oh, yeah. Sure there are.
That's why I'm a booth babe. I Google shit.
I'm going to get a jade necklace.
Of Pumpkinhead.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Somebody at the Mystical Market will probably have that.
They may have that, yeah.
So if you come up, you can probably get a coral and or jade necklace.
I would love that. I will definitely come to the Mystical Market one of these months.
What did I'm trying the face I just made. I love my role player. It lets me download movie trailers and all this stuff. But because of the way it installs, when you go to click tabs, half the time you click it and you gotta wait for it to decide, oh, there's no video here. Anyway, little side note there. On your voiceover, one thing I did want, because we said we were going to talk about this last time you were on. On your voiceover acting, I know you can't do everything. How wide is your range? I mean, do I guess a better way to do you practice? Do you sit around creating voices and think, now I'll have this in my tool belt when?
I do sometimes. Yeah. You know, I had a sketch comedy theater in Atlanta for 15 years, Sketchworks. I ran it with a couple of other people. And it's funny because animation and animated characters, they're a lot like sketch comedy characters. They're exaggerated. They're a little over the top. They'll definitely have voices that are in different registers of your body. But sometimes I do. And like when I get an animated audition, I have an approach for the way I find the character. Um, but I do still come up with voices and go, oh, yeah, that'd be a really great character. And I actually have a way that I log them. So, like, when I find a voice, I usually have a catchphrase. All right. And that catchphrase gets me back into that voice wherever I am, anytime, no matter what. Right. So I did an animated series not that long ago called Pandas. And I was hired at.
You did 12. That was one of my questions.
Yeah. And I did like 12 characters in this show, right? And I was hired. I auditioned for like all the leads and everything, but they actually, when you audition for animation, you have to show your range, because they can hire you on an animation contract to play up to 3 characters per episode of a TV series for the same day rate, right? So they're going to hire actors who can do many different voices and sound completely different. So I had demonstrated my range, so I got hired as a utility actor. So I played like an old man, a surfer dude, a little baby kid, whatever, old woman. I mean, and the night before, they sent me storyboards with pictures of all the characters I was playing. And I came up with 4 voices for each character, because you never know what the director's going to like or not like. So for each of those voices, I had to come up with a catchphrase once I found the voice, right? This is a long process.
No, I like it. I love hearing about this.
It's fascinating. But like, for example, I have a character, Chinester Merriweather, celebrity casting director. Okay. And he's an amalgamation of every horrible casting director that I ever got put in front of in Los Angeles. And it sounds something like this. Hello, it's me, Chinester Merriweather, celebrity casting director. Right. So to get into that voice, all I have to say is, hello. And same, like if I have a little old man, that's, get off, you kids. You kids, get out of here. Then that becomes the catchphrase. You kids, get out of here. And I immediately can go to that voice, right? So I do still sit around and create characters sometimes, but I haven't had the sketch comedy theater in a long time. And a lot of what you do in voice acting, 90% of it is just your voice. But typically my process now, because I don't have the sketch comedy theater anymore, is when I get the audition, I start coming up with like, I work with the physicality, like what does the character look like? How heavy is the character? How old is the character? How does the character hold their mouth? What do the eyes look like? Because the voice follows what the body does, right? Then you layer on the essential part, which a lot of people don't think about, and that's the worldview. What's the attitude? How does that character look at the world? Because that's what makes the character a fully fleshed out character. Like Peter Griffith's, for example, Peter, Family Guy, Peter Griffith, he's childlike. Right? His worldview is childlike. Innocence is his worldview. So even when he's mad, hey, Lois, what did I? Well, it all comes from this innocent, childlike point of view, right? So all fleshed out, all Seth MacFarlane's characters, all fleshed out animation characters, essentially have that worldview. How do they look at the world? Otherwise, it's just somebody doing a silly voice, and the audience doesn't lean in and relate to it, right? So, but I start from the outside in sometimes. Sometimes I just like read the script and go, okay, I know this character and I already have something kind of for it. Yeah. I'd like to do more animation. I do mostly commercial work. Animation's very competitive. It's very nichey. It's about 4% of the work that's out there in voice acting. And that's what's funny. Everybody thinks voice acting is animation in video games. It's so much more than that. And I thought it'd be fun. Actually, one of these days, Wes, what we should do a voiceover workshop down at Scarefest and let people get on the microphone, bring the microphone down, do a video game copy, character copy, and like get them to really see what it is to perform on the microphone. I think our group would really love that.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah, so many people are curious about it, and once people find it, and if they have a knack for it, they just love it, and like like I do. So I love. Can you tell I'm really passionate?
Well, yeah, you're passionate about it. See, I thought I would be. I actually gave it a shot, but after I actually started doing so-called demos,
yeah.
Okay, now I know I have a good voice.
Yeah,
I'm told enough. I know I do. I don't like my goddamn voice.
Nobody does, Wes. Nobody. Nobody does. I can't stand hearing my own voice. Even now, 22 years after doing it, it's like seeing yourself on camera. Most
Yeah.
people,
No, I
now,
like the way I look on camera, dude.
Yeah, girl. Well, you're me too, baby. No, it's that thing. You have to get used to it and just accept. Okay, you'll get over that after time. I'm over it now, but in the early days when I would do a commercial, used to be, now I do everything from home, but it used to be you went to studio and you do the commercial, then you would come out into the mixing room while the engineer is mixing it for approval, and you're sitting there on the couch with the producers, and they want to talk to you. And they're like, "Oh, how was your day? What do you want to get for lunch or whatever?" And they're talking to you while you're hearing your voice blaring through these speakers.
Oh gosh.
Oh my God, it was driving me nuts. And it's all I can do to pay attention to what they're saying because I'm so distracted by how awful my voice sounds. But that's something you get used to. So you shouldn't let that stop you. I will say, if you're serious about a career in voice acting, you got to learn it. You got to study it. You got to learn everything about the craft that it is. It is so much. There is so much to the technique of it.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get that technique under your belt, I know you could do. You've definitely got the raw material.
I was starting off small. I was just going to do like voiceover for commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Well,
Fiverr. But like after I did the demos, I watched it and I was like, that sucks.
Nah, you just need
really
to.
suck.
You come work with me. I'll work with you, and we'll see what you can do. And by the way, just commercials. Commercials are 80% of the money that's out there, and also if you are an animation actor, because a good friend of mine is Bob Bergen. Do you know who Bob is?
No.
Bob is the voice of Porky Pig. He's the new voice of Porky Pig. He took over when Mel Blanc died. And he's incredible animation at Bob Bergen, Bergen. If you go to bobbergen.com, he's got a great website. He loves talking about voice acting. He is the voice of fucking Porky Pig. He makes millions of dollars. He still does Home Depot industrials. He still does Coca-Cola commercials. The commercial work is 70 or 80% of the work that's out there. Like I said, animation is about 4% of the work. And if you have the kind of talent to be a multi-voiced actor, your agent is going to expect, okay, you can do all these characters and all these different voices. Surely you can also do a Coca-Cola commercial in your own voice. And unless you are a Bob Bergen and you're famous, they're going to expect you to. So I teach voice acting, and some of my students go, well, I just want to do animation. I'm like, that's fine. And they go and they get their animation demo done. They take it to a talent agent. The first thing the talent agent says is, this is awesome. Where's your commercial demo? Because they are also working on commercials, and they just expect that if you have that skill level to do animation, you can do a Coke commercial. You can do something in your own voice, right? So I always encourage people to study all the things that there are in voiceover, because there's way more than just animation and commercials too. Yeah. There's audiobooks, e-learning, corporate narration. I mean, I have one student who makes $6,000 a month just with e-learning clients that she found on her own. Doesn't even have an agent, right? So there's all kinds of places you can go in this business. I always say, whatever you're interested in, be sure you diversify and learn about everything, because you never know where you're going to find that niche that you kind of go into. But ultimately, get into it and follow what you are passionate about. That's why if a student does come to me and say, I just want to do animation, I'm like, fine, let's do it. Let's go for it.
I'm enjoying this so much. I'm just a community theater level actor, but this is so
me too, baby. That's where we all start.
It's just like I never know what to do with my voice and how to make it different and how to make it into a character, and I'm learning just from this. So I hope you do a workshop at Scarefest.
We should do it one time. We'll have to talk to Brandon and Nicole and see if they.
Brandon has nothing to do with this shit. It's all me and Adrian.
Actually, I know. I know. I'm learning how it all works.
I need to.
Listen, I'd be happy to do something like that down there, or just come to Lexington for the Scarefest audience and do it on another time. That's not whatever. I'll come do it with you guys. It'll be a lot of.
We'll get it done. Maybe not this year.
Yeah.
Because I mean, neither one of us is dying right away. Okay, Spirit Mechanics. I need to plug the people that pay me, because I am a professional commercial voiceover actor.
Fantastic.
I am technically. I got paid to do it. The Missing Element Shop. The Missing Element Shop. Spirit Mechanics, Headwood Brick and Mortar. 1018 East New Circle Road, Unit 114, find them in Lexington, Kentucky. Look them up at spiritmechanics.com. There you will find Spirit Mechanics' stuff that they do, all of their energy and reading stuff. They're the alchemists, they call themselves, psychic alchemists. Mm-hmm. Stevens, Healing Vibrations, Metaphysical Supplies, a great selection of tarot decks, divination, altar supplies, all that good stuff. Handmade glassware. Stevens, Healing Vibrations. I do endorse what he does because I've tried it before and I liked it. It worked. It pain relief. I give it a shot for if you have pain.
Yep.
No, any pain. Well, yeah, it was hip pain. When it don't go away. What's the word?
Chronic.
The word? Chronic. That's the word I'm looking for. Everybody, once again, spiritmechanics.com and find them, the Missing Element Shop. Okay, we're going to do that at the end of the show. I want to give, that'll give him time to put on his pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
So, yes.
Are you going to review 30? Is somebody going to review 65?
Yeah, we're going to, yeah. I mean, we can do it right now if you want to listen to it.
I saw it twice. Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I'll go and change, but you want me to go? You want me to go?
I don't want you to go. I'm trying to be polite and offer you the chance to take a bathroom break. But since you're so dedicated to the craft here.
You're offering me the chance to pee with intent.
Yeah.
We came back to it, baby. Yeah, no, I saw 65. I've seen it twice, yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, we're going to do that. Where are you? Plugs. Are you going to be any place between now and Scarefest?
Yeah, a lot of places. Yeah, a lot of. I'm sorry. I'm so excited about Scarefest. It's like that's. I'm just waiting for this to happen. I love you guys so much, and I'm so excited to come down. I am. I love you guys. And I really do, and I love the Scarefest fans. Are the best fans in the world. It's the best show in the world. I'm going to be at Smoky Mountain Fan Fest in August.
I thought you might. I'll see you there.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. Phew, good. I'm glad I'm going to know somebody there. Ty's great. He's awesome. And I met his brother at FrankenCon. So I'll be at Smoky Mountain Fan Fest in August. I think that's the weekend of August 11th. Then I will be at TerraCon in Boston in September. Then I'm going to Montreal the very next weekend for a one-day 35th anniversary Pumpkinhead thing. It's just me, and I can't remember the name of that group, and I'm so sorry, but they don't care because it's only in Montreal, and it's just for this very small group. Then I'm coming to, there's another one. Then I'm coming to Scarefest, and then then I'm coming to Scarefest. I think that's all between now and Scarefest, I think.
All right. Well, everybody.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. Well, I just started doing this. This is only my first full year. You guys were like my second show last year. So I'm loving it. It's a lot. I love meeting the fans. I'm really enjoying it. I love the forum and to be able to talk about things and to meet everybody. So I'm excited to see everybody again this year. So everybody, we've got the Bonehead Weekly movie review of whatever number it is, 65. I haven't seen it yet. 65. I saw it twice. I'm curious to hear it, but I guess I'll go change and
that's
get
like 100. That's like 130 then.
What?
65 twice
is 5 and 5 is 10. Yeah, it's 130. I did that in my head. I don't know how. I love you guys. I'll go change and I'll hop on the other Zoom for the 10 o'clock thing. Wes, is that right? Okay. Yes. Nita, I can't wait to see you, sweetheart. I can't wait to hug your neck. Love you too. Bye, Scareface. See you guys in October.
See ya.
Bye, Katie.
Hey, Scarefest fans, it's Joe Lewis, Bonehead Weekly, and your Scarefest moderator, Mike Guy. And I know, I'm changing it up a little bit. Kid loves Spider-Man, so I thought I'd wear a Spider-Man shirt. I know it's not a blank shirt. What is a creature feature? I like the term. I actually like monster movies. I don't really get to see a lot of monster movies. I mean, you kind of get a little bit of a Godzilla or King Kong, and those are monster movies, creature features kind of, but I just want a mean-ass monster. I like dinosaurs. And the movie I'm going to talk about, I was hoping would give me a little bit of that creature feature fix. I wanted to see it in the theater, and I didn't get a chance to. And if you like dinosaurs and you like creature features, we're going to talk about 65. Unfortunately, it fails on almost all of these levels. It's directed by and written by Scott Beck and Brian Woods. They did a movie called Haunter, which I haven't seen, which I may go back, but they also wrote A Quiet Place and A Quiet Place Part 2. So they're kind of famous. And this is their kind of big budget movie starring Adam Driver and produced by Sam Raimi of The Evil Dead. We find out that Adam Driver is taking a job. It's some sort of space trucker, for lack of a better word, and he's going to be flying this mission, and it's going to be gone for 2 years, but he needs the money because his daughter's sick. He's in that ship, it gets hit, and it crash lands on a planet, and you pretty much figured it out. 65 stands for 65 million years ago. So he's not from Earth. He's an alien playing someone who lands on Earth during the dinosaurs. And he has to survive and then help a little girl survive too. Now there's more to the plot, and there's more backstory about his daughter, and there's more backstory about what's about to happen on the planet. And I don't want to give too much away because it's not an unenjoyable film. I did enjoy scenes in it, but I just found myself getting bored. And what I thought of as a review, and the reason I brought my kid in the Spider-Man thing up earlier, is that I took my son to see the new Dungeons and Dragons movie. And I asked him, what'd you think? And he goes, man, wish there were more dragons. And I thought, well, that's the best Dungeons and Dragons movie I've ever seen. It's so well written, funny. He's right. There's not a ton of dragons. And that may very well be one of the biggest problems with 65. It stars Adam Driver, who I think is an absolutely excellent actor. But I don't know that it is really the role for him. And if it is, he does a really good job with pathos and ethos, but I don't know. You kind of want somebody to kick a dinosaur's ass. And there's just not a lot of dinosaur ass kicking in this movie for me. I wanted more dinosaurs. I wanted more ass kicking. What I got was a story about a guy suffering from something that he has no control over, trying to save someone and doing the best he can. That sounds great. I like that smaller story, but I put in the Blu-ray and went to a Redbox because it's not streaming and I didn't want to pay the $10 or whatever it was to rent it, so I could watch dinosaurs and somebody kick ass. There's not as much. It's kind of nifty if you've seen A Quiet Place, how they hide things and move things around, and are those the monsters, are those not? It's a little bit like that. But we know what dinosaurs kind of look like. We have them all around. At least they're skeletons, so there's not enough ass-kicking dinosaurs. I just wanted more. It's a fairly conventional plot. It's a plot where, and basically I watched an interview with the directors going, it's a movie that starts out and then crash lands into a better movie. Well, they're not the first to do that. I don't know that I completely agree with that. They're talented folks, but I just wish there were more. It just doesn't connect with me. I don't know. It's not terrible. Go see 65 if you like a little bit of dinosaurs, or if you're a big Girls fan, you like Adam Driver or Star Wars. But don't break your neck to see it, because it really needs more dinosaurs and kick-ass action, but mainly kick-ass dinosaurs. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.
That movie review needed the cat. That was a good movie review, but he needed his guest cat to be on screen. Everybody, this has been Scarefest TV. Don't forget, if you are want to hop on our Patreon real quick, patreon.com/ScarefestRadio. You can join tonight. It'll give you access to the link that we're using to have a Zoom meeting with Brian Bremer, who's going to do a quick Q&A for us tonight, so you can sit and have a real meet and greet with Brian Bremer of Pumpkinhead. Everybody, we will see you next week when I had it pulled up here. Sandy Johnson. Sandy Johnson is coming on next week. See you then.